Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another week at Apollo Racing Club. This week we are going to be at Oulton Park over in Great Britain. Definitely going to be an interesting race this week. This track is notorious for being very tight and hard to pass on, similar to the rest of them in the British GT track listing. My name is Matt McAdams. As always, joining me in the commentary booth, we've got Fred Forsberg. Go ahead and say something to the nice people at home for us, Fred.
Hello. And as mentioned before, Oulton is probably the hardest track to pass on. And I'd actually say that this is not a track made for GT3 cars because it's so bumpy. So it's going to be interesting to see how the drivers handle the bumpy track today.
I would just say it's not even made for anything with four wheels or more than two, to be honest, because we raced here in the GT4 league. We just race the same tracks as the GT3 schedule, so we get a chance to break the track in on Thursday night. And it's definitely true that this is a difficult track to pass on, especially with the increased speed and aero dependence of these GT3 cars. It is definitely going to be interesting to see what happens out here. Hopefully not a repeat of Kyalami from 2 weeks ago. For several reasons. Hopefully the server lasts the entire race this time, but a little less carnage in turn one and throughout the rest of the race would also be great. But we are getting ready to start qualifying here right now. Our cars are out on the track. They're getting ready to start their hot laps here pretty soon. So let me go ahead and get us looking at that. Give me just 1 second here, folks. And any minute now, the game capture should catch up. Come on. Just don't make a fool out of me. There we go. All right. That's the first time it's done that to me.
Where the fuck is Wait, have I disconnected? Oh, yeah, I've disconnected. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Oh, no worries. That's okay. I'm just getting a couple of things sorted out over here. For some reason, my game capture decided that it was going to misbehave, so we don't have no audio. So let's fix that. Hey, look at that. We can hear cars now. All right, chat. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's having a more productive day than myself. I'm still working on my morning coffee here at 6:06 p.m. But let's get into qualifying over here. Let me find a lead car out here. Right now we're on board with Lebron in the number 16 Lexus. Let me see if I can find somebody who's about to start their hot lap here. Or actually, I think everybody's on a hot lap at this point, so I think we're looking pretty good here. We're going to go to the number 71 car as soon as I can find him over here, Keith D. in the Decent Pumpkin Racing. I think he is the farthest out on his hot lap right now. The AMG is going to be an interesting car here, that is for sure. You got anything you'd like to say about that?
Yeah. He goes off there.
So does a Porsche right in front of him. Oh, that's a big collision.
Oh, that's a big hit.
All right.
Very big hit.
Commentators curse Keith. Yeah. I apologize. It was not on purpose. But let's go ahead and find another car to look at here.
Okay, on paper, I'd say that the fastest car today is probably going to be the Porsche. Just because the Porsche always struggles where there's a lot of straights, but the thing is, there aren't any straights here. And since the mid-corner speed is so much higher on the Porsche than any other car, it's just going to be thriving here in the slow and mid-speed corners everywhere. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a Porsche party. The McLarens are probably going to fare quite well. And other front-engine cars, I'd say that the Merc and the Bentley is going to be the two front-running cars because they handle the bumps the best.
True that. So we've got a couple of times coming across the start-finish line right now. Right now, Michael Lebron in that number 16 Lexus we're looking at right now, setting the provisional pole time of a 135.3. Second place, a little bit off, just 0.3 difference, 135.6. And now they're third place because there's a new first place, Javier Marquez in the number 49 McLaren there, setting a 134.9. Definitely starting to gap out that, but we're starting to have plenty of times come in. Most people are finished with their cold lap, aside from those who had, accidents on their out lap. But we're going to start seeing more and more times come in. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Kublai Salon. We've been looking a lot at this green and yellow Mercedes this season because they have been putting on a remarkable performance. Right now, currently 1.1 seconds up in the Delta on this lap as they are getting ready to come through some of the more fun corners here on this track. I think we'll be talking about this corner quite a bit. Druids here, notoriously difficult corner here, especially if you are in the unfortunate scenario to try and attempt to take it with another car there with you. I think if we're going to see incidents, that's going to be where most of them are happening, but he is continuing to keep up the pace. Now, 9/10 up on the previous lap, so lost a little bit there in that latter section, but comes across start-finish line, and that is going to put them in second place with a 1:34.9.
Yeah, that's a decent lap. Very much an okay lap, according to me. I'm expecting the pole lap among the pro drivers to be around the 32s, probably. That is what I'd expect from the pro drivers, at least. So
that is going to be pretty quick, at least. So my baseline for trying to figure out a GT3 time is just take the GT4 time and add 10 seconds. Usually gets you pretty close. So yeah, that's
remove 10 seconds. But yeah, that's pretty much the case. Yeah, at least on this track. I just want to note that Eric Chan has gone the fastest out of the AM drivers by almost 1.5 tenths. So that's a very much okay lap from him. A high 34 is good for an AM time.
Absolutely, especially when you consider he's driving on the wrong side of the car, making that Bentley work.
Oh no! Don't say that. We're in Britain now.
Oh, damn it, you're right. Okay, I can't say that this week. All right, he's the only person in the correct-sided car.
Exactly.
And actually, that Bentley is going to be pretty good here, considering how well it handles bumpy track conditions.
The only issue with the Bentley is that it doesn't really have a lot of like natural rotation, since it's quite a bulky car.
Yeah.
So the only issue is that it's not going to be able to turn as well, for an example, as the Porsches do in the slow speed. But at the same time, it's not going to be as affected by the big bumps that are all over this track.
That is very true. And especially considering some of these corners, I'm thinking the first chicane specifically, you really do have a lot to gain by cheating the track limits as much as you can. And that Bentley is is pretty well set up, assuming the driver's given it the right height that it loves, to be able to get over that death curve there, which can save you a lot of time coming down that straight if you can carry momentum through there.
Yeah, the issue with that is if you do that during the race, you ruin your tire pressures too much, and you will gain like 1 or 2 tenths for the first 3 laps. But then after those laps, your pressures are going to be so low, so you lose about 4 or 5 tenths on all the other parts of the track. So in qualifying, when pressures doesn't really matter and you can just abuse them because you're going to get a new tire set within 5 minutes, fine. Run all the curbs you possibly can, cut as much as you possibly can. But in the race, you don't want to do that, because the pressures are going to be all over the place and you're going to pick up punctures quite fast. So the tactic here is to run as much curb as you can during quali, and then basically stay on the pavement as much as you possibly can during the race, because that is going to get you the longest on the tires you're running. And as I've mentioned before, the fastest way in all sprint races is always go as long as you possibly can, which in this case is 40 minutes on the same tires, so you stay on warm tires for as long as possible, and if you manage that, you're always in a good spot to finish well.
Very true. Just a little update. We were watching Cody Barrett there in the Absolute Racing Porsche. Had a little bit of a mishap there and ran off track. Was on a really good lap time too. Still got a little bit of time to try and get out there. I don't know if it's enough to where they could finish another qualifying lap, but the pace is there. We might be able to see that happen, or show up during the race, but currently sitting 6th place, had the improvement in the delta to put them up in provisional pole. Not provisional pole, but on the podium. I'm really struggling tonight, folks, but we might have to see that potential get unleashed during the race. I don't think he's going to have time to make that happen during qualifying. Let's see if we can find anybody else who's on a good lap. Right now, Michael Lebron currently 3 tenths up on the Delta, coming around. Where are they coming into? Oh, the hairpin. This is a funky corner. I imagine it's probably a little bit easier with the, although it's low speed enough, you're probably not getting a lot of help from the aero out of the GT3s, but I'd imagine it's got to be easier than the GT4s.
Honestly, there's always 2 ways of taking that corner. Either you hug the inside, which is not the fastest way of taking the corner, but it's the most safe way. Or you double apex it and really floor it on the exit. The issue is you can run wide, and of course you touch the grass and you ruin your pressures, but also in quali you will probably invalidate your lap. So it's basically choosing between being safe and getting a lap time in, or gambling to just be as fast as possible. But I'm not sure of how fast the Lexus is around here, honestly, because that's not a car that I have ever really driven, if I'm completely honest. But it would be interesting to see. And an outdated car on paper do well, since the tire data is not updated for these tracks.
I don't want to cut you off, but the car we're following right now, Marcus Marks, currently a 2.5 up on the Delta. Let's see what that does for, oh my goodness, moves from 12th place up into 5th. With a massive improvement in the car.
As well.
Yeah, and the car right behind him that we were following, the number 16 Lexus, I believe. Yeah, the Lexus right there, who's currently celebrating out in the grass, sets a 134.4, moving himself up into provisional first place. And we are going to see our pros making their way out onto the track. As always, we've got Andrew Warden out leading the pack. I think the other drivers just know to stay out of his way at this point. We'll see if Tommy Cogan has been able to put the practice in to catch up to the pace of his teammate and rival, Andrew Warden. It'll be interesting to see the two of those battle it out here. Both of them in a very strong car for this track. But looking at our AM lineup right now, we've got Michael Lebron, Sam Carasala, and Eric Chang leading out our top three for the amateurs. Sam Carasala snuck in there. I didn't see him set his lap, but with a very respectable time of a 134.5, and third place, Eric Chang, being a 134.7. So just 0.3 between our top three amateur drivers. The rest of them not too far off, but let's see what our pros are going to be able to do today, and we'll see how big that gap gets. Ooh, Andrew Warden gets a little bit loose there in turn 2. That's going to be affecting his time a little bit. Might have to take another run at it or excuse me, that was Tommy Cogan. My mistake, folks.
I'm fairly certain, though, that Andrew Warden ran a bit wide on the corner after, so I think that time is invalidated. No, he's still on a valid lap. Then he was just on the limit of the track limits going out of turn, I think it should be 4.
Okay. Yeah, the turn numbers are kind of funky here. It's just better to remember the names, which I can't do. So
no, same.
I'm not a real motorsports fan. I hate to break it to you guys. I can't remember corner names.
Oh god, I've never watched a real race on this track. I've just driven it a bunch myself.
Like in real life, or are you just talking in Sims?
Oh, in Sims. I've only ran a bunch of Swedish, like, folk race tracks IRL, so gotcha. I'm not a worst racing driver in real life just yet. But as I mentioned before, I'm going to Germany in the beginning of next year to do some real racing.
Much to the envy of almost everybody else in Apollo Racing Club. So, oh, this is an old chat from Melon Pitch. Fred, no love for the Nissan?
Oh, well, I completely forgot that he was driving the Nissan, honestly. But honestly, according to a bunch of that's a good lap.
That is an incredible lap time.
That is, I'd say yeah, that's like 32s are very much a respectable lap time, especially on these temps. So that honestly, that lap time itself will probably get him pole. I don't think anyone is going to go faster.
We'll see if Tommy Cogan has anything to say about that. Looks like the first first hot lap was invalid, so he's going to take another shot at it right now. Looking up at the leaderboard, don't see too many other valid lap times getting set out of the pro drivers, and plenty of them are crossing the start-finish line right now, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on.
I see that Wright is up to 4th, but not more. That is very much not expected.
Yeah, and Melon Pitch in 5th, yeah.
With the Nissan, this is honestly the Nissan's absolute best track. I do not know why, but I guess the BOP is just amazing. If every car is driving optimally, that car is about 4 to 5 times faster a lap on race fuel than any other car here, and I do not know why.
Jeez.
I've heard rumors about that. It is stupid fast on this track if you get everything right with setups and so on. And I do not know if Malin has put in the time to get the setup completely right, which I hope he does, because I know that the Nissan is really strong here.
Yeah, we'll
but the thing with the Nissan is that since he's the only Nissan here, he's the only one reaping the benefits of that, and also he's probably going to struggle a bunch of other tracks. Although there's a bunch of intercontinental tracks this season, and therefore the car is actually quite good.
Can't remember, is Mount Panorama in the schedule for this season?
No, I think it's... I know that Suzuka comes up, and I know that Kailami has been already, and I don't think it drove there, but it's a good car there. And I know that Laguna Seca is also coming up. And
That's true.
the Nissan is probably a top 3 car there, from what I can gather.
Yep, and knowing Melon Pitch, I know that is one of his favorite tracks, one he knows very well. So it'll be interesting to see how his performance goes. Quick couple of updates here on qualifying. So we did see Tommy Cogan post an improvement to his previously invalid time, so it's a 133.7. Yours makes no difference.
9/10 off.
But yeah, 9/10 off of the current race leader, Andrew Warden. Malise in the number 15 Ferrari, putting up a very respectable time, 133.8, less than a tenth behind second place. Probably going to be pushing pretty hard to try and get that time up. Does not look like this lap's going to be the one that makes it happen, but there is enough time for him to get another one in unless he makes a major improvement here. Daniel Wright is our next pro driver here in 6th place with a 134.5. Melon Pitch in 7th with a 134.6. So we actually have a couple of AMs that have placed remarkably well if these pros don't start setting a little bit better times here.
Yeah, and that just shows how unpredictable this track is, because it's just such an inconvenient GT3 track, so most drivers just don't know how to handle it. So track time does a lot, and I know that, for an example, that Eric Chan has put down a lot of time on here. I think that Lebron has also put down a lot of time here. So yeah, it's cool to see a bunch of AMs really far up the timetables, but as we know, the qualifying is not over yet. You can probably get about 2 more laps in if you cross the line now, so yeah, a lot can still happen. Surprised to see a Ferrari that far up, honestly, because it's not bad here, but it also does not like curbs too much. So
it does not.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very much impressed that he managed to get the Ferrari up to 3rd, although it's still a second off of pole, but that just also shows the incredible driving capability of Andrew Warden. He is just in a league of his own at this point.
He is our tame racing car driver, that is for a fact. All right, Niall. Oh, that's why.
What happened?
I saw his. Okay, I'm sorry, folks. So we look at this broadcasting app, right, and it keeps track of the deltas of each of the drivers' lap times in real time. And I see Niall Drake goes from, in the red to green really quick, and then it goes 1 second, 2 seconds, 8 seconds, and right as I switch the camera over, we see him plowing through one of the chicanes.
Oh yeah, he's doing his patented Nile line by skipping the chicanes, because who is like he is the biggest shed in here, so he just skips the chicanes because who even cares at this point?
And puts in a remarkable lap time of a 128.5 out of Niall Drake on the controller. Not valid, but a crazy lap time.
That is the new world record in GT3 cars. Congratulations, Niall Drake. He is a world beater.
Oh, this is gonna
still starting 8th though.
This is gonna be a fun race. This is gonna be a great time.
I also want to note before the race starts that we have 29 cars in a track that is not built for GT3 cars. If Kailami was bad, this is gonna be even worse, because we have half the track width.
No, Fred.
In the start.
Positive vibes. No incidents. It's gonna go great. It's gonna be awesome.
If there's no incidents, I'll eat my shoe.
All right, that's on stream. That cannot be forgotten.
Oh yeah.
To be honest, I think it's a pretty safe bet, but positive vibes.
If at least one car spins, I'm right. Okay.
All right, Kriegs comes across the line with a pretty significant improvement, comes from P8 up to P13 with a 134.9, only 6 1,000ths of a second to 12th place to take it away from Kublai Salan, who's currently in the pits. So he does have the opportunity to do it. All he has to do is just make a marginal improvement. Got a couple of other folks that are out on an improvement right now. Oscar Liu and the Team Macau, McLaren. 6/10 up on the Delta. Krieg's now 4/10 up, half second up on the Delta, so he's doing a remarkable job out there. We're gonna hang with this McLaren here just for a little bit because they're getting they're a bit closer to finishing their lap. So let's see how they wrap this up. A half-second improvement would move them up potentially into the top 10. So they're really got to hang on to it coming around this last corner, coming up to the start-finish line. We'll have our answer shortly. And I was absolutely right. So that's a 134.5, moving them up into 7th place. Congratulations there. Let's take a look at Krieg's, almost a second up on the Delta. And if we thought that was an improvement out of Lou there, we're going to see something crazy out of Krieg's if he's able to hang on to this. 8/10 would be enough to maybe even put him up onto pole. Actually, not quite, but it will be enough for either 4th or 5th place. We'll see what he does here with just 3 corners left on the track. Coming through.
Going into the final corner. Gets a good line, a bit squirmy because it's the inside curb. Let's see where he finishes. He finishes in...
Was it not valid? Oh no, he invalidated! Oh no, that's so unfortunate.
That's so sad.
But okay, so before we get too far, 134.2, that would have put him in 5th place, which would have been a remarkable lap time out of him. We'll definitely be seeing that during the race here. And now we do the fun, weird, I can't click drive because they're all in the pit right now. Okay, cool. All right, so after watching qualifying, any predictions for the race?
Well, Warden will win.
Yeah, that's
fair. Good job by Lebron. Hopefully doesn't get taken out early because 5th as an AM driver is incredible, honestly. And hopefully there isn't too much carnage early on. I think the first 2 turns is going to be quite hectic, though, just because of how the track layout is. It's just too narrow and too bumpy, so the aero-dependent cars are just going to be so unsettled by whatever's going on, basically.
That's very true. It's, yeah, I don't know. I would be lying if I said I'm not nervous, but I think after 2 chances at Kyalami to get a race start right, I think they will have learned their lesson. We'll find out. Even if they did learn their lesson, this is still a really difficult track to try and fit more than one GT3 car on. So it really is going to demand a lot out of these drivers to try and prevent any race-ending incidents for everybody. Let's go ahead. We're going to do our grid walk here. Like I don't know why I like doing this, but I just think it's really cool to take a look at all of these skins. I really do enjoy it, folks. But yeah, no, so less than 2 minutes before race start, we got 29 cars on the starting grid here, and it's, I know it feels like we're beating a dead horse here, but really that is a lot of cars to try and fit on a track this narrow. It is going to be interesting to see how this race unfolds. Definitely have high hopes for them all. This is our first race back after our off week last week, so since Kyalami, they've had nothing but time to practice. Let's hope that they have better practice regimens than myself and took advantage of the week off, which I did not do for Thursday. And we might see some good performances here. We do have a lot of AMs up in the top 10 right now, so maybe they did, they were responsible adults, unlike myself, and did manage to get some practice in on the off week. We will see here 1 minute until we start our pace lap here, and then we will get this race underway, and boy, it is going to be an interesting race. That is almost certain.
Track temps are quite high. It's both a blessing and a curse at this point, because the blessing is that you're actually going to have some tire temps going into the first lap. The negative side of it is that you'll probably wear out your tires a bit quicker than if the track was perhaps like 6 degrees colder. So not pushing too hard in the early laps and not like having too much steering input will help you in the long run if you're planning on doing a long stint at the beginning. But it all just comes down to what pit strategy they're running. If they're doing a short first stint, fine, push hard, really wear out those tires and go into the pit early. But if you are planning to run that 40-minute stint that you're that is the optimal strategy according to me, you will want to take it easy until the tires are up to temp, because otherwise there'll just be nothing left of the tires.
All right, I do want to take this one last opportunity to thank our partners. Just a reminder to everybody, we are an approved Grid Finder league. If you've not used Grid Finder before, go ahead and check them out. Look them up on Google, Safari, however you want to search for them. Just look for Grid Finder. Great place if you are not or if you don't have a league that you belong to. If you're watching the stream and you don't belong to a Apollo Racing Club, you are in fact doing it wrong. However, if you're looking for other leagues to go get acquainted with, Grid Finder is an excellent tool for doing so. You can go to the site. There's a whole bunch of drop-down menus. You can pick the game you're looking for, the class of car you want to race in, and the time zone you're in, and it will hook you up with a league that meets those criteria for you. Get started on your sim racing career. We also want to send a big thank you out to SimGrid for helping us orchestrate all of this chaos. An excellent tool for league administrators for keeping track of results of races, stats throughout the race, consistency, best lap times, all of that fun stuff. Makes it very easy for admins to be able to keep track of it all and keep it running. And if you are, again, looking for new places to race at, there are daily races on SimGrid. If you're looking to really get into the thick of it, go do some of those daily races from SimGrid, and you will find out just how much improvement you have to make before you're ready to race with the big kids. I know I can't compete in those daily races. You got to be something else. But almost every league at this point is advertising out on SimGrid, so it is an excellent place to look again for more leagues to get going. But we're about halfway through this pace lap here. We're going to have a race on our hands pretty soon. This will be the last chance for the drivers to kind of take a deep breath and enjoy the fact that there isn't collision, because that is going to change as soon as they wave that green flag.
That is very much true, and this is also the final time they're actually going to have any breathing room, because this track is incredibly intense. There's no pausing, it's an incredibly relentless track because there aren't any long straights, so you don't have a chance to catch your breath.
I mean, just anybody watching the stream right now can see this camera shot. You really can see just how narrow some of these roads are, some of these straights are, and especially when you're looking at the corners. As we watch Javier Marquez run a little bit wide, bit early in the race to start doing that, dude, but you can see just how narrow this track is. Barely enough room for two cars to be in there, much less at racing speed. It can get really hairy really fast here, but there are two corners left until we get this show on the road. Does look like we had some mechanical failure out on the grid. Kubalay Salan, our amateur superstar over here, is going to be starting the race from the pits. Fortunately, it's no longer a lap down, but he is going to start after everybody's passed him. He's going to have some driving to do. But that is going to be it for us and the pre-race. We're about to have a race on our hands. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. And there is the green light as we race down into turn one. Andrew Warden gets a solid start, so does Tommy Cogan. The two cars behind are getting left a little bit in the dust here. But let's go ahead and look at the middle of the field here, keeping it nice and clean through turn one. Ooh, and we've got the Porsche of Sam Carsala running off the track there. Let's take a look. I don't see any yellow flags in turn one. We're doing it, boys, as we come down through turns 3 and 4. And we're going to shift into that hairpin, which is going to be, I think, our first opportunity to start seeing some carnage. But we have yellow flag. Where?
Andrew Warden with a drive-through for being out of position in the start.
Oh, no. Oh, we got a couple of drive-throughs. Niall Drake picks one up as well. What is going on right now?
I do not know. Is it the bug? Because there is a start position bug for some of the tracks. I got caught out by that on the Solder race we had last season. So it is possible that it's just a bug. I do not know if we're going to be able to sort it since we don't have live stewarding. Usually when this happens, unless it's super obvious that you were out of position, the stewards take that penalty out because it's a known issue that the game has. But that is not going to be the case. I think that Warden is going to be penalized there, and Cogan is in the lead by a second. What happened to Andrew in the starts? Did I miss something?
If you did, I did too. I'm not entirely certain what happened there. He may have ceded the position to Tommy Cogan to get out there and push because he knows he's gonna have to serve that drive-through. And if you're Andrew Warden, are you serving that right now, or do you wait until?
Oh yeah. You would want to serve it as soon as possible, but he doesn't. He wants to build a gap to the cars behind and then do it. That's not what I want to do, honestly. Because I don't think he'd build a big enough gap to actually like pause any cars.
Oh, Melon Pitch gets a little bit loose there on the exit of turn 1. Dips it out into the dirt. It's not going to be enough for that McLaren behind to get around him, but manages to hang on to that. Looks like the number 21 car, so that's going to be Niall Drake, does serve that drive-through right away. We've got a yellow flag at the exit of turn 1, number 51 car. Let's see if I can get back there in time. It's going to be Sam Carsala again. Gets that Porsche turned back around the right direction. Looks like the 999 car was included in that as well. So we got 2 cars there. Looking at Sam's car, don't see too much damage. Looks like he got tagged in the back and spun around in turn 1. We'll see how that affects his pace coming through here a little bit. But just out in front of Melon Pitch, who we're on right now, it looks like we've got a drag race between Alessio Melise and Daniel Wright there in the McLaren behind him. 2 very different cars on this track, and they are battling it out for 3rd place right now.
McLaren should be the favorite car. The BOP is actually really good for the McLaren here. Probably the 2nd fastest car after, well, 3rd fastest after the Porsche and the Nissan. And Melon in the Nissan running 5th as the best running front engine car, which is actually kind of expected because of how good the BOP is.
All right, let's take a look at another battle for position here. We've got a little bit of a battle for 8th unfolding here. We've got Ice Tin out in front of it in 8th place, followed by Craig Bray and Eric Chang, it looks like. So those 3 cars currently battling it out for 8th place as they come around the final corner there. All of them keeping it nice and composed up into the straight here. They're going to continue that battle. Looks like Craig looks up the inside, thinks better of it before getting into the braking zone. Is going to filter in behind that McLaren, and that battle is going to rage on again. Looks like Andrew Warden now leaving the pits, and he's going to enter out into, looks like actually a pretty healthy gap. Nothing to worry about there for him. Let's go ahead and take a look back at that battle for 8th.
Good thing for him is that the pit lane here is actually really short, so he has a good chance to just get a bunch of good running through here. He's 11th now, and he has Barrett in front of him. Yeah, he's in a good spot. I don't think he's in a race win position just because of how hard it is to pass here, but he's definitely in for a podium.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody's going to be able to pull it off, it is going to be him, but I think that this is looking pretty good for Tommy Cogan right now.
Oh yeah, he's in a super spot. He's already 3 seconds ahead after. Is it 1 lap or 2 laps?
We are 2 laps. 2 laps in. We're on lap 3.
Yeah, he 3 seconds ahead. He's in a really good spot at this point.
All right, let's look for another battle for position. Actually, I want to keep an eye on our league leader right now, Andrew Warden, as he makes his way up through the grid here.
We have a spin, I think. I saw a blue McLaren.
I saw the. It looks like they got back on track. They did take out the advertising there on the outside, but got it back on track without causing any major incidents, which is difficult to do. So hats off there. Andrew Warden looking up the inside, coming into the final corner. He's going to go try and run it too wide with Cody Barrett, and manages to sneak it through on the inside.
Barrett was very compliant there. He left a lot of space. Very fair racing, honestly.
All right, and yep, he's just going to go ahead and make his way past Javier Marquez there. I think these drivers are just saying, you know what, I recognize that name. I want nothing to do with it. And if I were them, I'd be doing the same thing.
I would not. I would be fighting tooth and nail to make a name for myself and hold up the fastest driver on the grid. This is the time to show that you're here to be one of the best. No, don't just let the leader bite. Fight for it.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Ice Tin misses the hairpin, goes straight into the wall, and perhaps one of the worst places to go off track in the entire course, and is going to have a hell of a time getting back on track. But that is going to be his battle over for whatever position he was in as he gets his way back over there.
He's going to be extremely damaged as well, so I think that is probably as good as... Yeah, he is in a really bad spot now.
That is an unfortunate mistake to make this early into the race. Hopefully he's able to get it back out on track and maybe get that damage fixed with an extra pit stop. Not looking good for him, but we'll see if he decides to stick with it.
Looking at the front runners, Cogan is now 5 seconds ahead. Yeah, he is in an extremely good spot. Now he has the chance to beat Warden for once. Hopefully he takes it. I really wish him the best there. Oh, pitch. Melon Pitch has got past Daniel Wright.
A little bit of contact between Joshua Kimball and Niall Drake there coming through. It looks like Druids. Joshua Kimball getting a little bit of the better of the exchange. Just light tap to the two of them. Managed to avoid an incident, but that is going to be a position gain for Joshua Kimball. And we've got a yellow flag, number 536 car, back at Druids as well. Can't get my camera back there in time, I don't think.
Kublai Kalon.
Okay, gets it back on track. And they are going. That Mercedes got some work to do. We got another yellow flag out at the out at turn 4. Looks like somebody just missed it.
Number 27. That is
it's gonna be Cody Barrett is gonna try and get it back on track.
It's been contact. It's been contact.
Uh-oh.
In the hairpin.
In the hairpin. Between who?
Yep. I think Lebron got spun around by someone because he was sideways, and Warden got paused. Everyone, he's now up into 5th.
That didn't take very long.
But you got paused 4 cars in that incident alone, so I'm not really sure what happened, honestly.
A lot happened in a very short amount of time, and I can only click so fast. All right, so Andrew Warden. Oh, go ahead.
We have 2 cars sitting in the pit, so Eiston and Jiang is at this point probably retired, from what I can gather.
Yep, Kublai also almost has a similar incident to Ice Tin, missing that hairpin and going into the barrier on the inside of the corner, manages to avoid getting stuck out there and keeps the car going around the track. We'll let him we're trying to protect him from commentator's curse here to let him focus up and get driving. And let's look at the battle between Craig Bray and Michael Lebron, which is just getting ready to heat up. The two of them have been battling it out for a little bit. Lexus versus Porsche coming around turn 1. And that Porsche is going to be right in the draft with that Lexus out in front. Might be able to make something happen between the
Porsche gets a good exit there.
Yeah, he does.
So at the same time, we need to
another car runs off wide in turn 4.
Who is that?
That was looks like the number 69 car of Chris Ungurian, or was it Pop Dog? It was one of the two of them. I think it was Pop Dog in the Marlboro McLaren there.
Yeah, that corner is really tough if you don't get it right. You need to be very confident with the steering and keep the steering angle the same, otherwise you'll be struggling. Because if you keep second guessing yourself for there, you'll easily understeer out wide and basically slam into the tire barrier at the start of that hairpin that comes up after the fast left-hander.
All right, we're going to hop back in the grid a little bit to another battle that is unfolding for 16th. We've got Timmy Wilkins holding back Joshua Kimball, Niall Drake, and Alan Zhu.
Oh, what happened to Mellon?
Number 71, Mellon Pitch. That's not the right car. Game, what are you doing?
Yeah,
he's now in 11th place. Yeah.
What happened there? I'm going to check the replay and come back to you.
Yeah, please do. And we're going to hop back to that battle for 16th because we've got quite the train starting to show up, although it separates a little bit. Right as we quick back to him, though, commentator's curse strikes Timmy Wilkins as he runs wide and Druids, loses a lot of speed coming down that straight. That might be enough for Joshua Kimball to make the pass before the second to last corner, and it is going to be enough. Joshua Kimball moves himself up into 16th place, and now we've got a whole bunch of cars that are stacking up here going into turn 1. Might even have an opportunity to see 2 wide between Timmy Wilkins and Niall Drake. We'll see if they attempt it. And it does look like actually Niall Drake is just able to get just barely ahead of him to try and avoid any catastrophe happening in turn 1. We'll see what happens in turns 2 and 3 here as they come downhill into that awkward braking zone. Alan Zhu almost tries to shoot the gap on the inside, thinks better of it and gets on the brakes. Would have taken out that Bentley ahead. And now we're coming into the hairpin. We might see some more action even.
Looks like Pop Dog went around the outside on Eric Chan in the hairpin. So I looked back and Pitch spun round in the hairpin from what I could see. I don't know if he got spun round, but I saw that he was basically sideways on the grass on the inside. So I'm not sure what actually happened.
Gotcha. Alan Zhu taking an interesting and creative line on the outside of the chicane there. Definitely loses some speed down the stretch. Hopefully he doesn't pick up a penalty for that one. But this battle is loosening up a little bit now that Joshua Kimball's out in front of it. He is trying to track down Ryan Barra out in front just a half second. We'll see if he's able to close that up for a little bit. But right now we're going to hop forward to Craig Bray, who is, again, working his way up the track. Like we saw, he didn't have the opportunity to get that really fast, clean lap in during qualifying, manages to invalidate it when we weren't looking. And we are seeing that pace is coming out on the track right now because he is working his way up the grid. Now in 6th place. I didn't catch where he started, but it wasn't 6th. putting on an excellent drive for us right now. Getting right on the rear bumper of that Lexus out in front. He is going to try and maybe make a pass here on the hairpin. Let's look at what the rear wing of that Lexus looks like. That Porsche is just right there.
It is an incredibly close battle between Eric Chan and Pop Dog right now. It is so close. But Eric Chan backs off going into the fast left-hander. It was really close going through turn 1, 2, and 3.
Oh,
side by side.
Michael Lebron gets a little bit loose in the rears and has to cut the inside of the chicane, loses a little bit of speed. Is it going to be enough for Craig Bray to make a pounce on him coming into the second chicane? It does not look like it right now, but let's see what happens here. Hard onto the brakes, and they're going to filter through single file right now, but that is going to put Kriegs in striking distance here in just a couple of corners.
Warden has now passed Daniel Wright. Warden is up to 3rd.
The man is something else.
He is running... How much? 2 seconds a lap faster than the guy ahead of him.
All right, now we're following Chris Ungurian here in the Slowpoke Racing McLaren. Now has Melon Pitch has moved his way up into 10th place from 11th just a couple of laps ago. Now trying to have a look at 9th place here. And we'll see what happens. And just in the background there, you can see the battle between Pop Dog and Eric Chang. Let's take a look at that. Is because they're going to try and go through the second to last corner too wide. Maybe no. Eric Chang thinks better of it in that Bentley, but now he is going to try and track down that McLaren. And a straight line is going to be difficult. But they're going to come into turn 1 of the next lap in the same order as the previous one, and the battle is going to rage on. Let's go ahead and take a look at Chris Ungurian, because those two cars are getting very close between him and Melon Pitch. And we've got a yellow flag back at the last corner there. It looks like 3 cars are involved. I'm trying to get back there right now.
That's Barra being...
Yep. Ooh, Barra facing
track.
the wrong direction on the track. That is not good.
Oh, Marquez is on the grass. He's going straight. Is he going to hit the hole? Yep, he's going to thread the needle, and he's back safely on track. Oh, Eric Chan hits Pop Dog in the rear. But Pop Dog keeps it straight, and the fight keeps going. But Melon Pitch is really picking up the pressure on Ungarian at this point. Going into the second chicane, Pitch is looking at the inside.
Eric Chang's going to make a pretty remarkable pass there. Gets a great exit of the first chicane. Now he's side by side coming to the second one with the McLaren. He's been trying to pass for a couple of laps. They are going to filter through there. Eric Chang does have the better line to get the exit here. The McLaren runs wide, and that is going to be a successful pass from our Bentley driver there. Eric Chang getting him in the second chicane. He's been setting it up for laps, and that is a successful and very good pass out of the Bentley driver there.
That is a very hard move to do. That is one of the few places where you can actually be extremely brave if you have track position going into corners.
And he made
it
good
look
job by
easy.
him.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if we can catch up to Marcus now. That's the next car, and that's another AM driver. I just want to mention before we say anything else, Eric Gottsacker, up to 7th. I do not know where he started, but he was not on the top 20 at least. He's doing an excellent race driving in 7th now.
Yeah, actually, now that you mentioned that, I don't even remember. Yeah, I don't remember seeing it. Yeah, that just
shows how good of a race he's running. He has been super consistent, stayed out of trouble, and from what I can see, kept his tires going really well. So he's been driving an excellent race thus far, and he's keeping up pace with Craig Bray as well. He's actually, he's lapping on the same lap times, so he's doing a real good job.
All right, we're going to keep an eye out. Ooh, that could have been really hairy there, what we just witnessed. But we're going to watch Chris Ungurian and Melon Pitch here battle it out. Pitch came in a little bit too hot into that first chicane. You saw him have to get creative there with the brakes to try and prevent an incident. So he's going to lose a little bit of time to Chris Ungurian. What was 2/10 is now over a second. We'll see if he's able to clutch that back. You can see he's really trying to push that car as he's getting the rears loose, which is a difficult task in that Nissan. So he is really pushing for it. He's got a little bit of work to do in the next couple of laps to close up that gap again. Take a look at Timmy Wilkins. He's got some company. Alan Zhu right behind him. We've got a battle for 17th unfolding.
The age-old battle between the two AM drivers. This has been going on for seasons now.
Yep.
So, it is. Yeah, it is very much an interesting battle between these two, and it never ends. Clash of the AM Titans has been here forever. But Alan goes wide.
Oh, and he loses the back end.
But he's not hitting the wall, so that's a good job. He actually doesn't crash the car, so he's still in. Oh, is he on the racing line? Will he get collected?
Oh. He got out of the way. Okay. All right. Woo. Woo!
Oh, perfect. That's good for him because that is a very dangerous spot.
Yep, well caught there, Alan. You love to see it. All right, let's find another battle. Oh, looks like Melon Pitch has already closed up that gap to Chris Ungurian. Just a lap ago, he was over a second. Now he has got it back under a half second here. Really does make me wonder if he's just struggling to get around that McLaren.
Yeah, it is just such an incredibly hard track to pass on, so yeah, he is probably going to have a hard time to get by.
Well, the white flag's being waved. So there's a slow car out up in front. I have a feeling we'll see that here just in a second in the cameras.
Number 42, Brian Douglas letting people by. That's not good for the tire pressures to be parked where he is.
Maybe a retirement out of him. I'm not sure if he's just not had a window to get back out on the track, but this battle between... I can't look away from this battle between Chris and Melon Pitch here, because he is just locked on the rear bumper of that McLaren.
Yep, it was just like letting people by. Interesting place to just stay still for so long. It's not good at all for his tires. Melon gets a really good exit there as well. Yeah, this is gonna be a long battle because, as mentioned before, impossible to overtake on this track. Let's see.
Oh, but is he gonna try it? Oh
no.
He might be trying it. Oh, he almost had it though. Oh, that could have been scary.
Oh yeah. Very much a Hail Mary if he were to go for that.
Okay, I'm gonna do something I don't normally do. We're gonna hop on board with Melon Pitch here because we gotta see what he's looking at here. I gotta find the right camera. Bear with me here, folks. There we go.
Oh, it's super close between Niall Drake and Gobes now. It is extremely close.
All right, we'll hop over there here in just a second. I want to get through this first chicane with these two cars here. Let's see what this looks like as he comes into the braking zone here. It is going to get close, I think. Ooh, McLaren got a little bit loose there. We'll see if he's able to get a good escape here. It does look like he does. Nissan not quite able to close up that gap. Let's go ahead and hop back over to the TV cameras. And you said, who were we watching for the battle there?
Niall Drake and Gobes. They are really close at this point. There's actually a bunch of cars that are real close.
Yeah, we got battles all over the grid. I'm trying to make sure everybody gets their time on camera.
Short track racing, my fault. This is just how it looks like.
Ooh.
Brian Douglas is parked at the...
Oh, Niall Drake narrowly avoids a collision there. It looks like Brandon Gobes got a little bit loose on the back end coming around that corner there and loses it. Niall Drake's able to sneak through on the inside, but just barely, as we saw that other car lose traction and almost spun into Niall Drake there, but he is going to get around him safely. Let's go ahead and hop back over with Chris Ungurian and Melon Pitch. Never mind, they're not as close as I thought they were. We've got a yellow... Ooh, Melon Pitch runs way wide turn one and loses the back end and right into the wall. That is going to be a pretty big collision there. It did look slow enough. Maybe he didn't take major damage, but that is a big hit for him, and that is the battle between Chris Ungurian and him over.
Yeah, and his tires are cooked, so he's just going to be struggling for grip for so long. Did he park? Is he going to go back to the pits here because he's parked? Is it going to call it quits?
Yep, that's unfortunate. Right as the pit window opens, too. But that is going to be Melon Pitch's race over. And the battle rages on between almost everybody else out on this track. Let's see if we can find a close battle. It looks like Timmy Wilkins and who is that behind him? Cody Barrett are battling it out. Wait, no, who is that? Which McLaren is that? That's not...
Eiston.
Oh, that's Eiston, okay.
Yep, lap car, running a lap behind, trying to get through the back.
Yep, and as we saw earlier in the race, he just got pinched on the inside of that hairpin, which is like nearly impossible to get out of and recover your race, but he is out there trying. Got to give him props where they're deserved, but I don't know if it's a great place for him to be because now he's in between a battle for position, and I know he's been around long enough to know that that's not a great place to be.
Yeah, he either wants to get past quick and try to claw his way back, or he wants to just let the guy behind past and coast behind them. But since I think he's a faster driver, I think he kind of wants to get past him as soon as possible at this point.
Right now we're watching Michael Lebron and Kriegs here battling it out for 5th place. Those two cars working their way down the straight into the hairpin. We'll see if anything happens here. We know Krieg's been working his way up the track. He's certainly not having any problem passing cars. Just a question of how many he's going to pass before the end of the race, and it looks like right now Michael Lebron is in the crosshairs. We'll see how well he's able to defend him out in the Orbex PR Lexus there. And we've got a yellow flag back at the hairpin, just a couple of cars behind. I can't see the car number. It starts with a number 603. Nope, that's not him. Whoever it was, they got themselves out of the way there before I could get the camera back in time. Let's go ahead and
603, who is that? That is Tim Wilkins.
Well, whatever happened, it didn't last very long.
I'm not sure who that was.
I don't know. I saw a yellow flag. He might have just been a little inside on the line there. Sometimes it'll throw it out for that. But we have a bit of a battle unfolding for 15th place here. Timmy Wilkins leading it off, followed by Cody Barrett and Alfonso here in the BMW just behind. Wait, in the BMW?
Yep.
He was not racing that the last race, was he?
Oh, he was.
Was he?
He's been running. He's been running the BMW for I think 2 seasons now.
How did I not catch that? All right, little M6 love. I'm sure he's looking forward to the M4 GT3 getting released as much as I am.
oh yeah, no, not to be that guy, but that car that he's currently running is kind of shit actually.
It's good at two. It's like good at 2 or 3 tracks. That's about it.
It's pretty much only good on one track, which is the Donington, and besides that, it is subpar pretty much. The only driver that I've driven against who's actually been as fast as the other cars are Nils Nadjuk, and I think pretty much everyone knows who is. Arguably the fastest sim driver in the world, and he's driving the BMW since he's signed to G2 Esports Racing, who are sponsored by BMW.
And they are monsters on the track.
They're
properly quick.
They are incredibly good. I had my first SRO race yesterday, and I qualified less than a 10th behind one of their guys in the Honda. So, yeah, it's gonna be incredibly interesting to see where the SRO races goes for me. But enough with that. Warden now less than half a second behind Melise.
Yep. So 113. Who's 113? Jay Robinson picks up a stop and go 30 for speeding in the pit lane. That is an unfortunate penalty to pick up. Yikes.
That is the roughest one you can get.
Well, onwards. Get that served and keep your race going. Still 35 minutes left to make up for it, but we're gonna keep watching Alessio Melise and Andrew Warden here. Andrew Warden, we saw started in first, re-entered the track in 14th, is now up in 3rd place with his eyes set on 2nd. We'll see if he's able to get around Alessio here in that Ferrari.
Yeah, and then we have Robinson coming in, and Andrew gets a really good exit, but he's not going to be able to get past because the track is just too narrow going into this corner. He sets up so he gets a good exit. He has actually an incredibly good exit, but I don't think he's going to be able to get the speed to go past here. If he does, it's going to be a Hail
Coming
Mary.
down the hill with the draft, though, is he? Oh, he thought he looked at it.
Yeah.
He was thinking about it.
It wouldn't be a sin that I could approve, at least, so, yeah. Looks like a lot of people are listening to my tips and saying go long, because going long is good. There's only a few people that have pitted already, whilst Eric Gottsacker goes wide into the first chicane, and that lets Marquez and Ungaron. It's a big battle between Marquez and Ungaron.
Yep, I just clicked really over there. Wow, he's weaving on either side, just looking for any way to get around. He's not going to be able to make it happen this chicane, but we can tell he is getting impatient of looking at another McLaren in front of him. He's going to be pushing
Marquez
as hard as he can to get around him. Oh, Marquez just got around him. Okay, so this is retribution now. Now it's personal.
Yeah, exactly. The issue there for Marquez saw that he's been running a lot of grass, so his pressures are probably all over the place. So although he's ahead now, unless he actually starts to stay off the grass and get the pressures back up by using them, he's going to be struggling for the rest of his stint here.
All right, let's see if we can.
It's really close. It's still really close between Craig Bray and Lebron.
It is also really close between Alessio Melise and Andrew Warden. Looks like they're going to stay in the same order they've been in for the last lap. But let's take a look at Michael Lebron and Craig Bray, because this battle is just that much closer as they come down into the hairpin. And this battle has been going on for a couple of laps here now, and neither one of them having served their mandatory pit stop. And this may come down to a pit strategy battle here between the two of them.
Yeah, I think Warden's best shout here is actually to pit early, because since it's so hard to pass people, and he is about 1.5 to 2 seconds faster than Melise per lap. I think pit early and just drive 3 or 4 laps and get past him in the pits. I think that is the best strategy for him at this point, because the pace difference is so vast, and it's way worth for him to go in early at this point.
I certainly agree with you there, and I'm sure that is also something that Warden is aware of. We'll see when he decides to make his move. He's still got 12 minutes to do so. It looks like Daniel Wright coming into the pits right now. Let's see who else. Brandon Gobes is in the pits right now. Anybody else? Ice Tin serving that mandatory pit stop. So we got a couple of folks that are taking care of that right now. Well, let's get back out on the track and watch battle here. Alessio Melise and Andrew Warden is even closer as they come into turn. Oh my goodness, that was really close. I almost forgot where we were on the track, but he's looking up the inside on the hairpin. And there's contact between the two. He taps the inside quarter panel of that Ferrari. Ferrari does an amazing job of keeping it from spinning. From the camera angle we saw, I don't know how he did that, but keeps it out in front. Andrew Warden knows better to take that position away, so gives it right back. And the battle is going to continue on now, both to the detriment of the rear tires of that Ferrari, as well as the aero of the front corner of that Porsche. We'll see if it affects either one of them. But now they're both probably going to be thinking about pitting and trying getting some fresh rubber there after both of them scraping away some of the rubber on their tires.
Question is how much damage that did they get. I know that the Porsche is quite front aero dependent, since the less fuel you have, the least grip you're going to have on the front end of the car. Well, so hopefully it doesn't damage this front splitter too much.
Yeah, looking at both the cars, I don't see too much damage on either one of them, so it must have been a minor tap that just had a big impact. But it does look like that is going to be another lap for Andrew Warden to try and fight around that Ferrari out in front. And Alessio Melise is going to dive into the pits, leaving Andrew Warden to run without competition here for a little bit. We'll see if he's able to pick up the pace here and really start pushing after a couple of real slow laps. That last lap he just did was a 1:37.6, which is over 4 seconds slower than his best lap. So let's see what he's able to do without anybody in front of him.
Yeah, Melise has gone into the pits now, so Warden is in fresh air. 15 seconds behind Cogan. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be really rough to catch that, honestly.
Trying to get Kriegs on camera. There he is. That was a weird camera angle. He was off wide on the hairpin there. See, has he served his pit? He has, so maybe that's just a little bit of cold tire symptoms there.
Oh, Brandon Gobes is spun. He is back into the pits. Yeah. Oh, and I think, who's the Lexus? Is that Kimball or is it Lebron?
Is it red?
No, I don't have the skins. I'm sorry, I can't see.
Okay, Joshua Kimball is just now coming across the start-finish line.
How many Lexuses are there?
I know there's at least 2. I believe there may even be 3. Let me take a look here. We're going to see the leaderboard here.
Oh, yeah. Michael Lebron, he must have overshot his pit box, because I saw him reversing in the pit lane.
Oh, that's not good.
No, that's suboptimal.
Although I know I'm certainly nobody to stand on a soapbox about pit stops. I'm probably one of the least consistent pitters in this entire league. Joshua Kimball almost runs wide going into the hairpin there, which could have been catastrophic, but manages to keep it on the black stuff. Keeps that Lexus going around. Currently sitting in P10, although we are in... well, actually, he has not served his pit stop, so actually that may be where he is right now. If not, actually maybe even in... maybe even doing better than that. We'll see.
I think it's probably like net 19th or something like that.
Oh yeah, I did. I went the wrong direction. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, but the leaders still haven't done their pit stop. Eric Gottsacker currently running in third. He's driving an excellent race as an AM driver. He's doing extremely well at this point. Though he hasn't served his pit stop, but he's consistent. He's not having any trouble at all. I think he's driving an excellent race, honestly. And it's steady pace, very steady pace, all the way through.
Well, steady wins races, that is for sure. And we are seeing that in full effect here. Because, yeah, he has put on a quite the drive today. We'll see how he's able to keep it up. 28 minutes left here at Oulton Park. And still plenty of time for all sorts of crazy stuff to happen here.
Yep. Niall Drake is now in the pits.
I'm looking on the grid right now for any battles for position. Not seeing too many of them. It's going to be that way for the next 10 minutes or so because we've got to wait for everybody to finish their mandatory pit stops before we have a good idea of what the grid is going to look like after those are all served. Let's see, how close are these two? Is that Daniel Wright right behind him? Actually, we do have a battle for position here. Right now, it's currently 7th and 8th. That's not where it's going to end up being. So I actually think this would be 3-4 or 4-5 right now that we're watching between Alessio Melise and Daniel Wright.
Yeah, I think it's 3-4.
Because, yeah, Andrew Warden will have gotten the clean air, I think, to make up for the time difference there while Alessio is in the pits. We'll see if that ends up being the case whenever Warden does dive into the pits here.
Yep, he is probably going to try to stay out at least 3 more laps if he's using the same pit strategy as I am.
Pop Dog on his way in right now.
Getting fresh tires on. I don't know if that's a good idea, but we'll see. We'll see. He was in a tight battle with Eric Chang at this point, so yeah, we'll see how everything ends up.
Somebody we haven't been talking about very much this race yet. It is going to be Tommy Cogan, right now our race leader, out in first place, and not by a small margin by any measure. Got a little bit wide there on the second to last corner there, but gets it back out on track in time for this the pit straight there. Putting on an absolutely remarkable drive. Got real lucky. His teammate Warden had the either a bug or just got real unlucky with an overly zealous Stewart there, but picked up a penalty right off the start grid. And that did allow Tommy Cogan to get a very commanding lead on his teammate. We'll see if he's able to hang on to it once the pits are all handled. But I believe it's almost impossible for Warden not to be in second place once all of the pit stops have been served. So, it's just a question of how much race time is left, and can he catch Tommy Cogan in however many minutes are left by the time he does serve that pit stop.
So one lap is about let's say 1:34 in Warden's pace.
Right.
And he has about 13 to 14 laps, and he should be 1 to 1.5 seconds faster a lap than Cogan with fresh tires, probably, from what I've seen. So, according to the maths, it is possible. But then it comes to the passing, and passing on this track, as mentioned before, is incredibly tough.
I'm amazed we haven't seen more incidents. Most of the cars that have retired have just been from running off or getting spun around and collecting themselves on a wall.
Yep.
So yeah, drivers are doing a great job. I'm good. The positive vibes, folks. It's what it's all about.
Exactly. One thing that is interesting to mention also is now that Eric Chan has caught up to Hungarian. So now they're close together in 4th and 5th.
Yep, and that is who we're watching on camera right now. Looks like Ice 10 out behind him, still trying to salvage as much of that race as he can. Props to him. It's not easy to keep yourself in the headspace of being competitive after getting unfortunate like he did at the early part of the race, so hats off, my friend. But we are going to watch this battle between Chris and Eric here. Just a second between the two of them, but as we've seen, these two have very, very, very similar paces, and we'll see if they are... if they tighten up a little bit here before the end of the race, and we might have an interesting race on our hand. Andrew Warden into the pits.
Yep, I was just going to mention that. Warden into the pits.
So he is serving that pit stop right now. That does mean that Tommy Cogan is going to be the last one to serve the pit out of his teammates here. The question is, does he get it right out of the way, or does he get another lap in?
And he's running there. Let's see. Yeah,
it'd be close either way.
Yeah, Justin Robinson has gone wide into turn 3, from what I can gather.
Yep, saw that. The little white flag getting waved. Ooh,
Craig and Niall.
Better days.
Craig and Niall incredibly close to each other in 13th and 14th. No, 12th and 13th, sorry.
Ooh, Eric's looking on the outside. Thinks better of it before they get there. Because, yeah, you're not close enough to make a pass there, buddy. But, yep, well negotiated. It's going to cinch up a little bit. If he gets a good exit here, coming into that, or coming out of that first chicane, we may have a battle on our hands here, folks. Let's see how they do.
Cogan did the fullest of sense into the pits. I think he even tapped Josh Kimball going into the pit, so that's how hard he sent it. Hopefully it didn't go in too fast, so he gets a drive-through or a stop-go 30. But yeah, it looked like he had a really good pit entry there.
All right, we'll see. We'll know in just about 45 seconds or so. Actually, no, it's a short pit stop. It'll be way less than that.
No, 30 seconds because mandatory tire change. They're always 30 seconds if there's a...
I know that, but we wouldn't see the penalty get handled out until he leaves the pit. And I forgot this is a really short pit, so we'll know almost immediately.
Cogan is out, and there's not a penalty. Incredibly good pit stop from him then.
All right, so now the question is, how far behind is Warden? And I'm looking at the map. He is 3 corners back. I don't know what that actual time separation looks like because right now Eric Gottsacker is in the pits interrupting the splits there, but we will know the timing on that momentarily here. Ten seconds. Whew. All right, so he's got 22 minutes left in the race. We know he's lapping about a second. Go ahead.
Andrew has a bunch of traffic to get by. He has Barrett in front of him now, flashing him. Barrett, you just get out of the way at this point. He's just holding up a leading car. Same for Josh Kimball ahead of him. Just get out of the way. He does now. Good. And so does Josh as well. Good.
Okay.
Good back markers.
You'll love
the
to
hunt
see
is
it.
On.
All right, now there's just one car in between Andrew Warden and his teammate Tommy Cogan. The 113 car, that belongs to Justin Robinson. So we'll be getting a look at his Ferrari here pretty soon. He'll be getting a look at Andrew Warden's Porsche. All right, let's find ourselves a battle for position here. There's Eric Chang still getting chased down by Niall Drake, it looks like.
Pop Dog went extremely wide going into turn 3. I don't really know what happened, but when Eric Chang came out of the pits, they were incredibly close to each other. They were side by side, but then Pop Dog, I don't know if he got a snap or something, but he went pretty much onto the short track layout into the road that leads up to the second chicane. So it almost looked like he was thinking of cutting half the track. No, just kidding. It just went wide basically and went onto the grass.
All right now we are watching Joshua Kimball and Cody Barrett battle it out for 14th. These two are keeping it really tight, although just as I say that, Cody Barrett runs a little bit wide on the exit of turn 3. Is it 3 or 4? I think it's 3. Yep, it is 3. Cascades. Track, corner, names. I can do this. Joshua Kimball runs wide in the hairpin, out on the marbles, but he is just far enough ahead to be able to get back on the racing line before Cody has an opportunity to try and pass him. And this goes on into the chicanes here. It really is just going to be a battle of who sets up the better exit here. And it does look like Joshua got a really good exit there. Let's see if we can't find. There does not look like there are any other closer battles for position here. So I think we're going to hang out with Josh Kimball and Cody Barrett. There's our pit window. 20 minutes left here at Oulton Park. And it has been a race.
Oh, yeah. Surprisingly clean, actually. I thought it was going to be way worse, but I guess the new rules that we implemented for this race has actually worked, which is really good.
Yeah. And for anybody who missed, not last week, but the week before at Kyalami, we had a pretty violent race start.
No!
Oh! What happened?
No,
what happened?
Eric Gottsacker. He went into the tire barriers at the hairpin. He's been running such a good race, and he went wide there. No, he lost like 4 positions. Oh, that's so sad. It's been running such a good race up until that point.
Yeah.
One lapse of misjudgment, and there we go. That's it. That's him gonna be running quite far back. I'm expecting
7, 8, 9.
13th.
Yikes, that is unfortunate. And the front of that Aston Martin has seen better days. We'll see if that's going to affect his front end grip too badly. Hopefully it doesn't and has a chance to salvage that couple of positions. But
no, it's not gonna be good for him. It's gonna be a dreadful car to drive for the rest of this track. Or for the rest of this race. because you need that front end to actually help you out here, since it's so bumpy. And if you just don't have the grip, it's just, yeah, you're just in an awful spot. And now Eric Chang is back up, being really close to Hungarian again after the pit stops. It is extremely close between them now, and Eric seems to have a lot of space in that Bentley in the second stint. A lot more than what the McLaren is currently pulling out, from what I can see.
Ooh.
But also, look at Niall Drake.
Yep, he's closing up on him as well.
He's just biding his time. Yep, he's just biding his time back there. Oh, wow. Eric should have pretty good exit now. Similar exit too.
Man, he really wants to get around that McLaren.
Oh yeah.
The Bentley takes a nice wide line there on the entry of the corner. That's going to set him up for a good exit coming up the hill into Water Tower and Druids.
The issue here is that it's not really any overtaking spots here, so it's basically just being really close to the car head until you get to an overtaking spot. But here we go. He gets a run, coming up to an overtaking spot. Perhaps he can set it up the inside. We don't know. He's taking it cautious. And also Hungarian closes the door. Good move. Good job by Hungarian and not giving him any space to send it up the inside. Yeah, I think this is a battle that I'll keep a lookout if you want to check what's going on. Although it looks like Sue and Wilkins are really close again. It's like 1/10 between them once again.
That's right where I was about to go and look. And yeah, these two are going to keep battling it out.
Oh, it's really close. It's going to be really close now between Hungarian and
a tenth of a second between the two of them. I can't look away from this. I'll be watching the split timing on that other battle here, but these two are just bad. They're duking it out right now. It's like watching a boxing match. They're taking turns, just getting really close to one another, but they just can't. Eric Chang just cannot seem to get around that McLaren. And Niall Drake is reaping the benefits of it because he's just closing up on this little pack here. This is going to turn into a battle for 6th place between 3 cars.
Yeah, the issue here for everyone is that, as mentioned before, it's just so incredibly hard to pass. Since it's so narrow, you have to go for some incredibly unholy sends if you're actually going to get past people here. So, either one driver commits a mistake or the other driver's doing something incredible. From one thing to another, Warden is 8 seconds behind Tommy now. I do not think that he's going to be able to catch.
It's gonna take something pretty remarkable out of Warden to try and close that gap. We might actually see Tommy Cogan win this race. And I know I'm supposed to be neutral here, but Tommy, hang on to it. Win the race. Somebody other than Warden needs to win.
we want someone else to win for once.
All right, we're going to keep watching this battle between Chris and Eric here. It is staying nice and tight. That's going to be B. Douglas out there. Yep, gets right out of the way of these two racing for position. Good judgment call there out of the blue flag.
Yep. Niall gets a good run. Now it's a 3-way. 3 cars going into the fast left-hander, going into the hairpin. Let's see if there are any sense. I don't think there should be any sense, honestly. If the cars just keep on throttle and brake at the right time, it should just be a good Congo line going into the... But it's close.
He's getting so close. I love it. And something I just want to point out, because I saw it in the camera angle I was looking at, while this battle is going on, the battle between Oscar Liu and Craig Bray is getting tight, and they are actually closing up to this battle for 6th place. With 15 minutes left, we might even see a 5-car battle for 6th place here at the final stage of this race.
Here goes Eric.
Here he goes. Come
Eric. On the outside going into the second chicane. Does he have track? No, he doesn't. No. He doesn't have track position. And now Niall comes in. Try to read the good exit from Eric. He has the run going up to the double right-hander. Oh, it's so close. It's so incredibly close for the final 14 minutes of the race. Also, should note, Kimball incredibly close to Barrett and a little bit further back in the field between 13th and 14th.
Yep, and the battle with Timmy Wilkins and Alan Zhu is also like stupidly close. They're nearly touching each other as we get a look. They're coming through that they're coming into turn 4 into the hairpin here. But they're keeping it nice and tame. We can see Alan looking on the outside there, really trying to look for his way around, but that Bentley is nice and wide, but I don't think he cares because as they come down into the first chicane, they're almost side by side, but they filter through single file. Let's see who gets the better exit there.
It was really close that Eric got taken out by Niall because Niall hit the curb on the inside going into turn 3. But he managed to not hit Eric when he bumped back onto track. So the battle for 6th keeps going.
And now he's got, let's see, now he's got Oscar Liu to think about. Where'd Craig go? No, he's still right there.
Yeah. Oh, he's just a bit further back. Yeah. Yeah, this battle is actually insane, honestly.
Well, and that it's been going on for this long, too. It's going to be testing the patience of Eric, and it's going to be checking the consistency of Chris Ungurian out in front. Both of these two having to drive at 100% for this long. They have certainly got to be getting sick of this by now. There are closer to 13 minutes left in this race. They're running out of time to make something happen here. Chris doesn't have to defend for too much longer. Eric, you are running out of time to get around that McLaren. Got to make it happen.
But all that needs to happen is just one mistake from either driver and they'll lose at least one position. That is the blessing and the curse of this track. And now Eric has a good exit, so is he gonna go up the inside? He goes up the inside going to the final turn. And he gets the spot. That is such a hard move to pull off. Incredible drive by Eric there. Incredibly good move. Good job. That was beautiful. Puts him 6th. Now he just needs to hold on to it and not make any mistakes. But the battle should still be going on because Lou and Drake is still hunting down Hungarian. So it's far from over. This battle is not going to end for at least a few more laps, honestly.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this because now we got a train of 4 cars here that are all going to be trying to take that position that Eric Chang just got. We'll see if he's able to hang on to it. For how long he was nipping at the heels of that McLaren, I think he may have the pace. The McLaren overcooks it into the braking zone, almost takes out the back of that Bentley. Manages to avoid doing it, but now he's got, I'm forgetting names. And now he's got Niall Drake right behind him. And that might be enough of a distraction from the race in front of him to where Eric Chang may be able to run away with this now.
Behind that, Eric Gottsacker got past Pop Dog in a really good move going through turn 3 because Pop Dog went a tiny bit wide and therefore he got past.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at when Eric Chang was passing Ungurian. Unfortunately, we just barely missed it on stream.
I got it on my stream, and thankfully I'll probably remember to save the replay, so we'll have a highlight of that going up for
mine always
highlight.
Saved, so we'll have it.
Yeah, nice. So we'll also, for those watching, we have a highlight going up at the after the race, probably sometime tomorrow. So you can see all the action if you missed it in a short and condensed video form.
And it's going to be a long highlight video. This race has been incredible. Let's see, it looks like number 42 and another car basically stacked right on top of one another. I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, it's just
Douglas
blue flags
and
getting
Marquez.
passed. Okay, yeah.
Yep. Alan Sue and Tim Wilkins. The age-old battle keeps going on. It just never stops.
No, it's just, and it's, I know from experience that they're having so much fun right now. Like, sure, there's frustration during the race.
Wait. What did I just see? I saw a car in the ditch.
It's Craig Bray. It looks like Kriegs, who's off the track right now, sitting, facing 90 degrees to the outside of the hairpin there. Gets it back on a track without collecting any other cars there. We'll see how many positions he just lost there. But
Andrew Warden coming through a bunch of back markers as well. He has Eric Gottsacker ahead of him now. But as I said, I think that this race is over for him. I think this is a Cogan. Daniel Wright gets past Mellis.
Yeah,
what happened to 15?
He went wide at turn 3. He spun, in Cascades.
And he's on the... Does he have too much? No, he's keeping it straight now. Oh, that is
but here comes the battle between Toomey Wilkins and Alan Zhu. Is going to catch up right behind him. All right, that's going to be relatively drama-free, so let's take a look here at Eric Chang and Chris Ungurian still battling it out. Does not look like Eric Chang is able to shake that McLaren behind. McLaren staying right on his heels here. Might have just barely enough time left in this race to try and get that position back, but right now it is looking heavily in favor of Eric Chang out in front in that Bentley.
Yep, Oh, LSU gets past because Tim Wilkins goes wide into the first chicane. Craig Bray is in the pits. Craig Bray is in the pits.
Oof. That is
Why?
I don't know.
Is it damage? I'll check. Give me. Oh yeah,
Okay.
much damage.
But with 8 minutes left in the race, though.
That does not look good. The car's probably undrivable. You would never go into the pits otherwise.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad. It was right. He's had such a good race, getting a bunch of position back. But yeah, I think that's it.
Bummer. Well, put on quite the drive for us after we saw just barely wasn't able to get his quick qualifying lap in, and definitely got back out here and proved the pace was there all along. Unfortunately, he's going to spend a little bit in the pits here. We'll see where he comes out position-wise, but it's not going to be where he wants to be, unfortunately. But more interesting, I think Eric has effectively shaken off Chris Gurian as he runs wide, and now Niall Drake is going to be right on his rear bumper, gets a better run down the pit straight. Is he going to have a look at the inside? I think he's going to try it. Oh, he is going to try it. Oh, he gets a little loose on the exit there. Almost oversteers into the McLaren, but he hangs onto it.
Oh, now he comes on the inside. Oh, he backs off. He backs off. It's so close.
We got to go to the helicam for this. This is way too close. Right as the cars space out here, it looks like that McLaren ran a little bit wide there, so the Porsche is going to be able to try and get a little bit closer there. Man, a lot just happened in a short amount of time.
Brian Douglas went wide. He's coming back onto the track, and he does not collect. Oh no, he's blocking someone. Who's that? That's Tommy. Tommy almost got sent out into the gravel because of the McLaren coming back onto the pits, onto the track. That would have been some drama, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would have been. All of a sudden, Warden may have had a look at first place, which.
Yep.
I'm not biased, but hey, Tommy, win the race, please. All right. Let's see. Is there anything else going out on the track?
Melis is in the wall again.
Oh no. Oh, and he's not. That's not a good way to be facing it either. He's got plenty of time to get it back on track safely, though.
Yep, on the final turn. Not sure what he's doing though. He needs to get out of the way.
He's right on the racing line as we watch Chris and Guri, Eric and Chris now are going to be trying to get around him. We might have.
Yeah, and Eric gets past.
And he gets it. That's 5th place for Eric Chang, and it looks like Chris and Guri has a look on the outside here. Is he going to be able to make it happen? He does.
Yes.
And that is now going to be Eric Chang and Chris and Guri 5 and 6.
Oh, it's such a disaster for Melis. He was running. Oh no, it's contact. And
cameraman, what are you doing? Oh, he runs wide. The cameras just didn't know what to look at, and we miss it on stream.
No, he got bumped out by, I think it was Niall Drake, because Melis braked early, and then Niall Drake went into the rear of him and bumped him out on the sand. Oh, that battle for 5th has been fucking. Oh, sorry for the profanity, but it's been so good. It's been action since the pit stops. It's been ridiculous, and it's still going on. That is the crazy part.
It's not over yet. It's certainly not.
Oh no.
We got just 5 minutes left, and we've got 2 Porsches that are gonna. That's Tommy Cogan right there getting around Niall Drake. So now we've got Tommy Cogan in between this massive train for 5th place.
Yeah, he just wants to get by everyone at this point.
Yeah, he needs to put as many cars between him and Warden. I know we said that it's not looking like Warden's going to be able to catch him here, but every car in between him and Warden is more security.
I'm sorry to kill the hype, but it's not going to be.
No, I know it's
unless Cogan crashes. There's no chance that Warden is going to catch up at this point. But this is basically just now trying to keep the positions you're at, because a bunch of drivers are very much in incredibly good positions for what they're usually in. Speaking of, especially, we have 2 AM drivers in the top 5. That is really good in Marquez and Chang.
Yep.
But at the same time, we have the usual suspects in the top 3 with Cogan, Warden, and Wright. Just not in the order that we're used to.
All right, looks like Tommy Cogan did manage to get around Chris and Guri in here. Now he's going to be tracking down Eric Chang. See if he's able to. He almost certainly will be able to make that happen before the end of the race. Hopefully drama-free here.
Yep. Should let him by here, probably. No, after the chicane on the straights.
Yeah.
It's the most clever way, I'd say.
Yep, lets him right by.
Oh.
Good call. Ooh, almost a little bit of contact there. Looked like the Bentley got loose.
Yep, the Bentley got a bit loose. But, oh wait! Drake got past Hungarian on the straight.
Did he? Oh, it didn't look like that from the... Oh, and he kisses the inside there a little much, kicks up some dirt. We'll see if he's able to hang on to it. Oh, that was really bumpy there coming on the exit. Oh, not much better for either of the McLarens behind as they both make the same mistake and almost lose it. That is... And now we've got Niall Drake, who might have a look at 5th place here. Folks, it's not over. There are 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, and we are going to be using every single one of them in this race. Oh, and it looks like the McLaren of Chris Hungarian runs a little bit off the track on the inside there, and that is going to be... Who is that getting around him? I think that's Tommy Cogan getting around him there.
No, it's Andrew Warden.
Is it Andrew? Oh, it is Warden. Okay, yeah, that's right. Wrong teammate.
It's hard to, with all the anime skins.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the battle for 5th is going on. Niall Drake and Eric Chang is incredibly close to each other with about 2 laps to go.
Yeah, I mean, unless a car literally explodes on the track, we're not looking away from this, folks.
No, it's way too close. There's no other battles that is remotely as close as this, so...
Or nearly as high of stakes here. Oh, that Porsche slides a little bit there coming around that corner. Back tires can't be happy about that.
I think that is the controller handling that Niall Drake is having to deal with.
God, I forget about that every time. Oh, this madman.
Yeah, it's so close. It is so close.
That Porsche, though, you can see the back end is really loose. I'm not sure if he's just not running a lot of wing, or maybe that's just lag that's making it look weird for me, but it looks like he's sliding around a little bit.
The issue, I think, he definitely is. Issue, I think the issue that he has is because of the controller. His steering inputs are so incredibly, like, direct. So when he turns, it just unsettles the rear a lot. And that's just basically how the car handles for him, and he can't really do a lot about it.
He still manages to make that Porsche fast. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Imagine him with a wheel.
I don't want to. I'm already mad that he's faster than me with a controller.
Yeah.
All right, but he is closing that. Oh, leader's on the final lap. So now there is not much time for Niall Drake to try and get around Eric Chang here. He's got 1 lap. No, he's only got 1 lap to get around it because Andrew Warden in front of him or behind him. Eric Warden, ooh, they may have another lap in this race because Warden's behind him.
No, but Cogan is the leader.
Oh, that's
right. Cogan past the finish.
Wow, am I really? I'm so used to it being Warden in position 1, I can't even keep track of where the race is. Tommy Cogan.
I just said usual suspects, but with a different drive, but like in a different order.
I don't know how to handle it, but we're going to keep watching this battle between Eric Chang as they are nearly touching, coming around the hairpin.
Oh,
it looks like
so
Niall, he overcooks it just a little bit trying to come around that hairpin. It does give a bit of a gap to the car out in front. Let's see if he's able to hang around or hang on to it. He's only got a couple of corners left here.
Yeah, it's so close. It's so close. Warden shouldn't disturb this fight at all because he has no position to gain. He should just sit back and enjoy the battle in front of him, honestly.
Ooh, yellow flag from the number 42 car. It's going to be Douglas there, the McLaren at the hairpin. Oh my goodness, and look at how close these two cars are getting to one another. Yeah. Eric Chang is having to do everything he can to try and defend that. You can see where he's positioning himself in the corner. He is compromising his line just to make sure that there's no room for that Porsche to get around, as we see as he goes through Druids.
And now we're going into the final turn. Now Eric just don't need to overcook the corner, and he should have P5 for himself. He takes the inside line, keeps it squeaky clean, and there it is.
This is gonna be
what a battle! What a battle! I can't say anything else. Incredible
and he finishes
battle.
in 5th place. Oh my goodness! If that's not our driver of the day, I don't know who else gets to be, because that was an incredible performance out of Eric Chang the entire race. Yeah. Well-deserved 5th place there for you, friend.
I think he started 12th and finishes 5th. That's a really good race for a track like this. Incredible drive by everyone. And we have 2 AM drivers in the top 5. Just shows the how unpredictable the British tracks are, because they're not built for these cars.
No.
Whether you like it or not. Also a big shout out to Marquez, who's also an AM driver, finishing 4th from what I can gather. So incredible drive by him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We've got a couple more cars that have yet to, yeah, Javier Marquez being one of them. Also put on an absolutely remarkable drive. I know I just spent a little bit talking up Eric Chang, but we really cannot ignore the fact that we've got another AM up in the top 5, like you were saying, Javier Marquez. We're gonna watch him finish his race up here, coming around the second to last corner. Just one more to negotiate, and that is going to be a 4th place finish for him. Certainly the season best for him. Yep, and there are the blinkers there. Go ahead and get your celebration in now. And there's Alonso crossing the start-finish line right behind him. But, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe it, but that is a wrap here at Oulton Park. What a race. What a race from start to finish. We had nothing but excitement. Again, I cannot congratulate or thank the drivers enough for making this as exciting to watch as they have made it this entire season. And they managed to do it without killing each other twice in a row, like 2 weeks ago. So, we're gonna go ahead and finish up these last couple of seconds here with Eric Chang, at least my driver of the day. Who are you gonna pitch? Who are you gonna vote for yours, Fred?
Well, besides Eric, who had an amazing race, I want to give it to Cogan, because although it was Warden's mistake at the start that gave him the win, he held on to it, and he did not make any mistakes during the race. So I want to give it to Cogan at the end, because he is our race winner. He started second, committed no mistakes when he got the lead, and just an incredible drive.
Yep, I can't disagree with you there at all. But that is going to do it for us here, folks. Thank you, everybody who decided to join us here at Oulton Park. What a race that was. Certainly more excitement to be had next week. I don't remember what track we're at next week, but
Snetterton.
Oh God. Oh no. If Oulton Park was exciting, Snetterton's going to be even more so.
Yeah. I think the reason why Snetterton is even more exciting is because then no one actually knows how to drive that track, because no one wants to.
That's another one that I classify as 2 wheels only. But let's go ahead. We're gonna wrap up the stream here, folks. Everybody who chose to hang out with us or watching the stream or watching the highlights afterwards, thank you so much for joining us here at Apollo Racing Club. We certainly appreciate it, and we will see you next Saturday, same time as always. And from everybody at Apollo Racing Club, thanks for watching. Have a good week, everybody.
Goodbye.